then we get a backstage promo with good old Jonathan Coachman,
Coach,
the coach, talking to the UnAmericans.
Hated it.
A terrible stable.
Hated them. Dumb.
It was so
horrible name.
So boring. It was so boring. It was just, and it was such a weak attempt at getting heat, you know.
Jingoism.
Yeah, we hate America. You know, everybody besides America hates America. You know, I mean, was their argument as well. So we've got in the UnAmericans, it's Lance Storm, Christian, and Test. Lance Storm and Christian holding the tag titles, and so they are up against the team of Booker T and Goldust.
Love this team.
Who on the other side of things is a team that is just absolutely beloved. I mean, like this was a huge turning point for me with Goldust. I wasn't sure what to make of him when he first came back, and because he had come back after being gone for a while, and his first match back was a No Way Out against RVD, and so I wasn't sure about this guy at first. And then some of the best stuff that I from that time were the two of them in their backstage promos. I mean, Goldust he was courting Booker T and like trying to get Booker T to be his tag team partner, and that they would make a great tag team. It's one of the, you know, one of these scenarios where he's, you know, it seems like an unlikely tag team, but you know, this guy just feels like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It can work. You know, it's almost like one of your favorite teams, RK Bro, where you had, you know, Riddle had a talk into it.
Don't compare Goldust and Booker T to that horrible.
Just saying from the approach side of things. But
well,
anyway,
what do you think the point was of initially? And we know that they went off to great success, but initially when WWF put them together, do you think that there was just, well, let's throw these two guys, let's give them a storyline?
I think it was I think they were spitballing. Yeah, I think it was just a shot and just be like, let's see what happens. You know,
and they kind of hit gold.
It's an unlikely tag team. Rarely does that work, but it's just, you try it out a little bit. And the thing is that the two of them both have good comedic chemistry with each other, especially in their characters, you know. So you know, Goldust, of course, creeps everybody out. So
I love Goldust. I love Justin Rhodes, whichever you want to call him. I loved him from day one. I thought he was vastly underrated, and it's so cool now, at least, to see him getting a lot of respect.
Yes. Yeah, you know, so he creeps everybody out, but the way, you know, Booker T would, you know, react to it and everything, you know, and he was so funny. And then, you know, eventually Goldust wears him down and they become a tag team, and now they start chasing the gold, and they chased it for a long time before they finally get it. But that was the slow build. But here we are in a situation where they are getting a chance at the tag team championships. We've got let's see here, tag titles are on the line. We've got referee Nick Patrick officiating this one. He came over from WCW when they bought them out, and that was his entrance into WWE. The match, you know, it was a good match. It was a fun match. Lance Storm takes out the ref at some point, and Test interferes. UnAmericans end up going over in this, unfortunately, to the dismay of everybody. But again, this is, I think, part of the slow build for Booker T and Goldust. I mean, the match wasn't bad. It was a good match.
Right.
They're not, because Lance Storm and Christian are both great wrestlers, and in particular, I think Lance Storm.
Yes.
I did have the pleasure of attending a Lance Storm seminar and getting to work with him in the ring. It was Lance and me and 3 other guys. and we were there for 3 hours, and super cool guy, and very willing to talk about anything, you know, and give advice on stuff, and you know, incredibly smart. He and Jericho came up together and training together and everything. So one thing I want to mention again before moving on, one of my favorite gimmicks Goldust had, and I think it started when he was with Booker, but I think it might have spilled over until after they split up. He at one point got electrocuted.
Yes.
And then he had like this uncontrollable like stutter. And
well, weren't they saying like Tourette's or
basically, yeah, it was basically Tourette's, but you know, it was clean. But it was one of the funniest damn things. I thought it was great. It was absolutely hysterical. I think what happened was he was attacked by Evolution, and I think they threw him into something that
they threw him into the electrical board.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then of course, like a bunch of bullies would make fun of him for, you know, his you know, new speech pattern and everything. So, but that was gold. It was great. So
no, hey, Dustin Runnels was always one of my favorite characters. You know, it's so funny because early on the complaint against him was he's got no personality. He had a ton of personality, it seems.
Oh yeah, no, and he's good in the ring too. The only thing the only thing with him I never could understand was how he wrestled in that suit, man. I just don't. I mean, that thing just looks like the worst thing to have to carry out a match, and I just would never want to wear something full bodied like that.
Yeah, like Mylar.
I mean, just I don't care what it's made out of. I mean, even if it was cotton, I wouldn't want to do it, you know.